From Southwest Florida, hear the call. Mike Sr., Mike Jr., nearly for all Jeep specialists, they know the ride. Pre-owned market news every week nationwide. Noble Auto Report, turn it on. Noble Auto Report, every week goes strong. Mike and Neely bring the news. Owner Auto Sales got the keys for you. Noble Auto Report, turn it on. Noble Auto Report, every week goes strong. Mike and Neely bring the news. Noble Auto Sales got the keys for you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Noble Auto Report with Noble Auto Sales in Englewood, Florida, episode 7 of the program. We're glad that you're here listening. Today we have my two counterparts back in the office. Dad, how are you?
I'm great. Missed last week. Really missed it a lot.
Yeah. Neely, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Busy day here.
Very busy day. You're selling cars left and right.
We are.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
That makes it fun.
So if you would like to buy a car from us or check out what we have, you can go to nobleautosalesllc.com. Go through our inventory, check it all out. We specialize in Jeeps, so we have a large selection of those. If you don't see what you're looking for, contact us in multiple ways. We have our email address, we have our phone number, 941-22-NOBLE. You also have the option of filling out a dealer form on the website. Dealer form's pretty easy, Dad. You just fill out what you're looking for, if you have a potential trade that you want to include in that, and we'll contact you and go through the process of what that looks like. It's easy though.
It is. It's easy enough, and the more details you can give us, the better it is. As long as we know what you're looking for, we can find it.
Yeah. So how is the pre-owned market, I should say?
Actually, I think it came down a little bit last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the market dropped a little bit, especially the later model stuff and some of the older used stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught what I was saying on the podcast last week, but I was looking in the search terms for what people are looking for price-wise, and they're looking at cars that are the highest searched amount range was between 10 and 15,000. The second most was between 15 and 20, but I was kind of surprised. The third most was 5 to 10. I thought maybe that would be higher up on the list, but it's not.
It's an interesting statistic. It'd be nice to see the demographic of the income of those people searching for things.
Yeah, super interesting. So we have vehicles that run the whole swath of that range anyway right now, and like you said, we can find whatever people are looking for. This week, because I finished out the buy-caring series last week, I had an interesting question from somebody that came on the lot last week. Thought it might be good to go over on the program. He asked me about lemon laws. Last week, the customer came in and he said, does Florida have a lemon law for used cars?
And they do not.
They do not. Correct. Lemon laws are only for new cars. Most buyers don't know this, which is why I guess the guy asked me. But I just thought, that was pretty interesting. People do need to realize most of the time what's really important is to look at the buyer's guide when you're looking at a vehicle, because it has the two boxes for as is or what might be included in a warranty. But I would say by and large, the majority of used car dealerships just sell as is.
It's very true. Sell as is, or they sell with an aftermarket warranty.
What I did notice was for used cars, they do have something federally called the Magnus-Moss Warranty Act. You guys probably don't know about this, not many people do. But it only applies if the car still has the manufacturer warranty remaining. So you can still get a used car, but if it still has the manufacturer warranty, it can still apply. You can still maybe potentially apply the lemon law to it.
That's true. It's transferable. Any factory warranties are transferable. They don't have to be first owner, second owner, third owner. As long as there's warranty left, it's transferable.
Yeah, so with that out of the way, I just wanted to cover that just because, the person asked me, and I thought maybe if other people were interested or wanted to know, they could do that as well. So we have Jeep news this week. Then I wanted to show you this article about the Jeep Scrambler that I've been talking about. It's got a bigger bed than the Gladiator. Well, how do you do that? Well, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be making it kind of safari style. and it's a concept car right now. But this came from Stellantis's executive Tim Kuniskis. He said it's the Swiss Army knife of trucks.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
creative.
Yeah. So this is how the layout works. So it's going to be 2 doors instead of 4. The front door is going to be a lot larger for the rear seat access. And what they're going to be able to do is take off the cap of the back. They say like an old K5 Blazer. I personally don't know what that is. But the cool thing is that the rear seats are going to be removable, or you can reverse them. So,
Very interesting.
Yeah.
They did make a scrambler back in the day. It's still now it's a very, very, very popular vehicle if you can find one. In 04, 05, and 06, that's 2000, 04, 05, and 06, they made an extended version of a Wrangler, probably extended by about 8 to 10 inches. And it's a very popular, hard to find vehicle. We actually had one about 5, 6 months ago that was a one-owner Florida vehicle, and it was in, I believe the name of the color was Arctic Orange, which also they only made about 500 of them. And it made it very, very valuable and rare.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Just even going through social media, you can see all the different intricate Jeep Wranglers that exist. You know, like you were talking 500 made of those. I feel like there's a lot of examples of like 500 of this and 500 of that.
Well, I know they only made one of you and Neely.
Huh.
You
Yeah.
never know.
So like I said, the rear seats, they fold down flat, so you could have it that way, and it'll
Did
be
you say reversible? Like
Yeah.
you can fit backward facing?
yeah, so you can turn it and look backwards, kind of like the
You're
old school
not-
station wagons.
I was just thinking that. Or even like when you were a kid, you waved at people.
Now you can wave again.
You can still do, yeah, you can do it again.
As an adult, I'd sit back there really, hey.
And then apparently, just the last note on this, they apparently are going to have a step on the side that's going to like walk right up into the bed,
Very nice.
which is kind of different than pickup trucks, you know.
Very nice. Very creative.
It's pretty cool.
So that one, there's no official timeline yet. They think it's going to come out in 2029 or 2030. We'll update as we go if we hear more news that's worth giving. And you were talking, Dad, a few weeks ago, you were asking about V8 engine, and yes, it's most likely, but not confirmed yet. And the pricing is going to be hopefully under $65,000.
That would be interesting because most vehicles now are over $65,000. But it's an interesting point about the V8 engine because not that long ago, actually within the last 4 or 5 years, they were going to stop producing V8 engines.
Really?
Yeah. When they had the big push for all the electric vehicles, they started to decide that, okay, no more V8 engines. And it made the Challenger go up, way up in value because people wanted to get their last shot at it.
Neely, do you have a V8 right now?
No, I have a 6-cylinder.
The last thing that we can talk about is a note that I had on a previous question. Do you guys remember a few weeks ago we talked about Wrangler pricing and Bronco pricing and 4Runner pricing, and we guessed which one?
We did.
Well, we had a comment on TikTok
Oh boy.
from Mr. Andy Jones.
Hi, Andy.
So Andy talked about it because we were talking about the different trim levels, and I was trying to figure out if what I was telling you guys was even factual with them all being base versions. Andy said it's all about trim levels and prices. Jeep has too many trim levels, and the Ford Broncos, you get the same trim levels, but main axles, motor, transmission, transfer case are all the same. Jeep has 3 to 4 different motors with different transmissions and different transfer cases and gear ratios and axle options to fit all those 3 or 4 different engine codes. So he just says an inline 6 on all Jeep Wranglers, Gladiators, automatic or manual transmission, and then he goes into more numbers, basically saying that there's a way bigger kind of swath of Jeeps that you can get compared to a Bronco, and it gets confusing.
Well, that's true. There's so many different trim levels of all of them, actually. Andy's not wrong. It's true. There's a lot of different trim levels, and I guess if you're going to compare apples to apples, you probably should take the base model of each one and say, here you go. It's an interesting question, though, talking about an inline 6-cylinder. That's a great engine if they'd ever put it back in a Jeep.
Yeah, I think they get questions about that all the time. I even just going onto the Jeep social media accounts, no matter what they post, if you go into the comments, people are like, bring back the inline six.
Well, Neely, didn't you just have somebody in here the other day looking for one?
And he couldn't find them. He goes, everyone he found was either rusted out or it was too expensive.
Mm.
You know, and I said, well, they're gold.
Yeah,
You
yes.
find one that's not rusted out, and it's got, even if it's got 200,000 miles, it's really still gold. They're good property.
So you think people are, like those are appreciating in value? You think, like in
The
the
right
used
ones.
market?
I think the right
Absolutely.
ones are.
Well, the scrambler that we were talking about, the old scrambler, that's an inline 6-cylinder engine.
Mhm.
That's the full 4-liter straight 6 engine that they just don't break. They're bulletproof.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the old Ford diesels. The 7.3s were good.
Very good.
Jesus.
Yeah, you still see them on the road.
Yep.
They're actually built by
The
international
bodies
trucks.
are feeling around them.
That's the
engines are
truth.
not.
Just like the rest of us, the heart keeps ticking and the body just kind of falling
Yeah.
apart around
It's sinking.
it.
So that's actually all that I had for this week. Quick show. Next week we'll come back. We'll talk about more things. We'll get into another series like we had with the buying series. Just gonna try and figure out what that's going to be. If anybody has any ideas for what you'd like to hear about, just drop it in the comments. You can also follow us on our social media accounts at Noble Auto Sales. That's on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And we post content daily. So check it out, give it a like, give it a follow. It helps out a lot. And we'll have more content coming soon. Again, you can check us at nobleautosalesllc.com. You can call us at 941-22-NOBLE. And Noble on the phone is 66253. And we hope that you have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next time.
Nice to talk to you again.
See you, Neely.
Bye.